Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of HorrorHouse Picture Show. Yes, it's a few weeks late, but we wanted to make sure we got Mr. King Kong himself on to talk Kong Skull Island. I'm joined by Billy Pollihan. How you doing? Is he there? Oh, live shows go wrong, don't they? Well, this should be fun. I have to now entertain you while Billy has frozen. Billy, are you back?
I'm alive.
Here he is. Here he is.
Yep.
He's back. Okay. After that rocky start, let's get into Kong Skull Island now. Billy, why don't you tell everyone what King Kong means to you?
Oh, what King Kong means to me. I think that is the greatest film of all time. Yes, even beating Citizen Kane.
That's 1933 King Kong. We're not
1933.
talking about Kong Skull Island just yet.
No, I'm talking about the original King Kong, which is one of my most treasured Blu-rays, and it's one of the crown jewels of my collection. And coming from me, and I say this a lot, but if I really like something, like it has to be very deeply personal to me. And the first time I saw King Kong, I was blown away, and I had never been the same. I have never been the same since. And if people have never experienced this age, and it'll be great.
Are we still cutting out? Why is this live stream going wrong now? Okay, we'll pull through. Anyway, basically, Billy is Mr. King Kong. He loves King Kong.
Anybody, it had to happen to me.
Yeah. He loves King Kong more than anyone else I know loves anything else. Including myself, which is...
Is this really happening?
Nothing to say. We're having problems today. For some reason, we're having a lot of problems. I don't know why. I don't know if you can hear me, if you can hear Billy. Who knows? Who knows how long this episode will now go on till we have to talk about Kong Skull Island someday.
Maybe.
Billy, are you on?
I've been on. It's it must be something on my end.
Oh, if it's your end, if it's mine. Who cares? It'll be someone will be having problems. I'm sure anyone watching this now is thoroughly entertained, even if we're not talking about Skull Island. So, anyway, now you know why we left it this long to get Billy on to talk about this, because he loves King Kong. But Kong Skull Island is a different beast, no pun intended. Oh yes, and pun entirely intended. It's a completely different beast. Kong in Kong Skull Island is... He's just the biggest version of Kong you're ever likely to see. I think Billy's cut out again. Billy, have you cut out again? I can't hear what you're saying. Oh, live streams. Nolan, I know you're in the chat, so let's keep this nice, because I currently have a nice of Billy on my Hangouts. I know you're a fan of them. So I don't know what to do. Should I just tell you how Kong Skull Island was for me? Because what I've been telling people have been coming to me and saying, "Oh, should I go and see Kong Skull Island? Because, you know, I'm that guy." If you like seeing Kong smashing helicopters, smashing other massive monsters, smashing people, smashing undead lizard-like creatures called skull crushers. If you want to see Kong smash a load of stuff and basically growl a lot and roar and all that good stuff, then go and see Kong Skull Island, because all that is awesome. Unmistakably so. All that is awesome. Perfect in the sense that dumb, stupid, fun Kong action movie. Not great in the sense of the characters in it. With a cast that includes people like Tom Hiddleston. Billy's just joined back. With a cast that includes people like Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson and John Goodman and John C. Reilly accepted, because I actually thought John C. Reilly was probably the strongest human character in the film, and I didn't think I was going to think that walking into it. But the rest of them are just so bland. It's disturbing. Yes, I was talking about the blandness of the humans in Kong Skull Island, opposed to the fact that Kong himself is awesome.
Yes, the most important element of King Kong should be, I mean, he's only called King Kong in the film, like when they bring him back, but we just call him King Kong anyway. But the most important part of Kong is Kong, and they nailed it right on the head.
They did. They really did.
I mean, I thought it looked like the original a lot, like with the brown fur and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, the characters. Let's get into that.
Should we talk about who should we talk about first?
God, they're all the same, aren't they?
I mean, they're all the same. Let's talk about Brie Larson first. Oscar-winning, wonderful actress Brie Larson. Doesn't do anything. Does not do anything in the film.
The one job she's supposed to do is take pictures, and she doesn't even do that. She leaves it right by her neck, and it's like, what are you doing?
I haven't even thought about that. She doesn't.
Yeah, she's a war photographer. Yeah, like you could argue that she's seeing the shock of a giant monkey, but I mean, she's a war photographer. She's seen pretty shocking stuff, so I would think that she'd be.
You would expect her to take pictures of sort of interesting things. You know, a large, however many feet. How do we know how tall this Kong was? Do we have an official stat?
I'm sure we do. I can probably look it up.
Well, however huge Kong was, you would think that a photographer would be interested in taking pictures of a massive ape. But no, she's not. She's far more interested in walking around. And she doesn't do anything.
No.
Hiddleston doesn't do anything.
Hiddleston's worse. Hiddleston is worse.
Anything.
Seriously.
And again, perfectly good actor. Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Perfect actor. Everybody loves him. He's given nothing to do.
Here's what my stance on Tom Hiddleston. At least with Brie Larson, she takes pictures. I mean, you would think she would take the picture of the most interesting thing on the island, but no. But at least she takes pictures. Tom Hiddleston's character, Conrad, is supposed to track stuff because he's a tracker. He was former SAS. That's like, maybe there's one scene where it's briefly touched upon, like why he's a merc, maybe. And like, he doesn't track anything. He just sort of takes the lead, and he's just like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it's like, what are you doing, dude? You're a tracker.
Yeah.
Track things.
He's supposed to be this high quality sort of survival. Oh, I can survive in the jungles. I know all the little things to do, and you don't get any of that. We're told that he's basically very familiar with jungle terrain, but that's it. We don't actually get to really see him use these expertise that he supposedly has. And in my opinion, the film spends slightly too long focusing on some sort of relationship building between Hiddleston and Brie Larson. Because they just like walking together. I don't know why. Why do we have to watch these two walk when I'd much rather see... I can't remember how long this film was, but if every single scene was Kong smashing helicopters, I would have loved it.
Is that a monkey? I mean, the one line that Toby Kebbell did very well was say, "Is that a monkey?" Doing the worst Southern accent I've heard in a long time. I'm from the Midwest, so I think I'm an authority on that. And yeah, he is Dan Murrell said it best. He's the Charlie Brown of Hollywood. He just can't seem to get a break. I mean,
no, he can't. He really can't, can he?
He's making all the right career moves. He really is. Or he should be. Ever since Dr. Doom, man. Ever since Dr. Doom.
He didn't really do anything either, though.
Nobody did anything. Like, the only two characters, which is funny because both were actually recasts. Because originally Samuel L. Jackson's character was supposed to be J.K. Simmons. And And John C. Reilly's character was supposed to be Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. And okay,
you can't imagine him with the big scraggly beard.
I can't
just going around
playing the John C. Reilly character from Kong at all.
I feel like he would just be Beetlejuice again. Just go completely nuts.
I guess so. I mean,
but yeah, they had to drop out due to scheduling, and like I can see J.K. Simmons. I can't really see Michael Keaton. It's a weird thing, but I got the Kong height thing. Apparently, he's 100 feet in this film, so he's the tallest Kong so far.
Yeah,
because the Kong in the original was the smallest. He was 24 feet, which is still massive.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, there's a noticeable difference, and apparently, so we are led to believe with this whole big monster cinematic universe thing, Kong still has some growing to do.
Yeah, he's a big boy, but he's still growing.
He's a big one.
He's got another 40-something years to grow. So
yeah,
I'm glad they said it in the 70s.
Godzilla. Yeah,
because Godzilla is like 350 feet.
Godzilla's
100.
Tall.
He's twice his size.
Still, though, the argument can't be made that Godzilla can now just stamp on Kong and destroy him, because even this Kong is too tall for that.
Yeah, I really can't wait for King Kong.
Kong always has the agility on Godzilla as well. He's the quick one. Godzilla can.
I like that they showed that.
Dampy, and Kong's very agile.
Yeah, I'm glad they showed that. Like, he was going around the mountains, and you could see like he's just, everything is his playground, and he was very he had superb athletic ability and like agility. It's like you can just imagine him probably either throwing or climbing up on just buildings, going from building to building like Spider-Man. It would be nuts.
Yes.
But
that's what I mean. Kong as Spider-Man. Let's make that happen.
That's the biggest Spider-Man I've ever seen. He really did bulk up for the role.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's so many good actors in this film that are just wasted. That's my biggest problem with this movie.
You've
got an amazing cast. Like, again, Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman. Corey Hawkins and Jason Mitchell from Straight Outta Compton. Yeah. Shea Wiggum from Boardwalk Empire, who he's really good. Of course, John C. Reilly and Toby Kebbell. Really, that's pretty much it. Everybody else is cannon fodder. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, thinking about it, I didn't mind. I didn't mind John Goodman. I thought he was probably, minus John C. Reilly, who I actually thought was a decent enough character. John Goodman is the, sort of less of all the evils in the sense of bland characters, I think. Because John Goodman's got a bit of something to hide, and I just like John Goodman. Anything John Goodman's in, I'll just go, yeah, this is going to be good. John Goodman's good. Same with Sam Jackson, really. Although I never like seeing Sam Jackson as a villainous type, because I don't believe he's truly like that.
I appreciated what they did with Samuel L. Jackson's character, because, this film alludes to Apocalypse Now like a lot. Like, from the cinematography to the tone.
It looks like Apocalypse Now.
Exactly. It looks like Apocalypse Now meets King Kong.
It is not Apocalypse Now.
No.
Do not mistake yourself.
No.
Oh,
I mean, because they turn Samuel L. Jackson's character into Colonel Kurtz. Like, he becomes, or Captain Ahab from Moby Dick. He becomes so obsessed with trying to get Kong. Like, he does not care about anybody else. He's just like, his white whale is Kong, and he will do nothing, and I mean nothing, to destroy this beast, even though Kong is totally justified in this case, because they went into his home. John C. Reilly said it best: you don't go into someone's home unless you're trying to pick a fight. And they were dropping bombs on his home. So yeah, he has a reason to be pissed off.
Exactly what I thought. I mean, this is, unlike other Kong movies, you are almost entirely rooting for Kong. Because, like you've just said, these gung-ho soldiers have come in, started dropping bombs all over Kong's homeland. So why shouldn't Kong be allowed to then smash them all to pieces in helicopters? And in that first scene where Kong is smashing helicopters to pieces, I thought that I was loving it. I think it worked really well. It looked phenomenal on the big screen. And this is where, in those scenes is where Skull Island is well worth watching. It's just a shame that it's full of a lot of the time.
I'll also say this: the creature designs, like the creativity that went into the creatures, was really, really cool. I actually didn't mind the skull crawlers, and they sound really stupid, I know. And there's that joke in the trailer about, like, I just made them up. Sounds stupid now that you say it. Like, only John C. Reilly can pull off something like that, just because of, like, how he talks, really. And I thought they were fine. Much better than the Mutos in Godzilla. And
I thought they were nice. Especially the fight that Kong has with whatever he calls it, Mother or the big one?
The big one. Yeah.
There's a big one. There's all the little ones that you see, and then there's a big one right at the end. That was a good fight. Kong got... He'd been through the walls at Kong. He'd already got burned at this point. And he's getting bitten around the neck. He's getting slashed about. He's very, very bloody all over the place. I mean, yeah, he's got 40 years to heal before he has to fight Godzilla. But if Big Skull Crusher can do that to him, what's Godzilla going to do to him?
I mean, Godzilla's got fire breath or atomic fire breath, which is even worse.
Yeah,
nuclear.
No,
I mean, yeah. Overall, this film was fine. Like,
yeah, that's a good word to use. As an overall movie, it's fine. As a Kong movie, it's awesome. As a character movie, it's pathetic.
It's very pathetic when it comes to characters. Like, they're all just cardboard cutouts, barely fleshed out. I mean, barely. Even I noticed this stuff. And I tend to like a lot of crap. I mean, if I say that, then yeah, that's really bad. But overall, it's looking for off. You want to see a giant monkey just beating the shit out of giant lizard creatures and smashing helicopters, throwing trees through a helicopter.
Throwing trees through helicopters, which was awesome.
And using a tree as a weapon as well, like a bat.
Yes.
That was, I mean, the best stuff is the King Kong stuff.
It is.
And
at least they got that so right. Because if that hadn't have been got right, then it would have completely just fallen apart. And oh no, I don't want to think about that. Let's say hello to some people in the live chat.
Yeah, I'm catching up on it right now.
Because Nolan's here, Tom's here, Raoul's here, Ash is here. And I believe I can see a few questions. Well, Nolan gives his thoughts. He says, Kong's a good, fun monster movie. If you're looking for good characters, watch Jaws for the 101th time. He doesn't use 101st, he used 101th. So I thought I'd say that. But yeah, of course, watch Jaws over and over and over again. Obviously. Do you prefer Kong or Godzilla 2014?
Oh, okay, that's a good question because I'm one of the few that actually likes the Godzilla 2014, or like I'm one of the other half of the people that likes it.
I like Godzilla 2014.
Yeah, I thought it was a great throwback to Jaws, but I'm glad. I'm gonna say Kong Skull Island because they learned some stuff from Godzilla. They learned to show the monster more, and I will say that cutting to the TV report thing was ridiculous. They could have shown that fight, and it would have been amazing because that reveal, the whole build-up to his reveal was amazing. Like, there was everybody in the airport that was like screaming, and then you just see this foot, boom, everyone stops, and then you just see it from the waist up, and he just lets out that awesome yell. That was amazing. I cheered. I was one guy in the theater that cheered. I was like, yeah. God, and then cut. And it's like, what are you doing?
I think as a big monster movie, I'm going to have to go Kong. I like Godzilla. I do like Godzilla 2014, but for what they're trying to do with all this Kong, Godzilla, and more as we get at the end credits. What they're trying to do, Kong is my answer for if we're comparing the two. What else have we got? Tom says Donkey Kong in pixels better.
No,
not so sure about that one.
No, screw you, Tom. I don't like Pixels at all.
Oh God, no.
I mean, it looked awesome, but yeah, the honest trailer said it best. Them and Ghostbusters, the new one, they have the same ending. They have the same third act.
Oh dear.
That's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign. It's not really.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else has joined us? Shuggy's joined us. Joe's joined us. Hello.
Shuggy.
What do we? What else is being?
Oh, Joe brings up Amy from Congo. I remember that film. It is quite the hilariously bad film. Like, it's based on a Michael Crichton novel. It's about all these killer apes, but they did the worst thing possible. As an Evil Dead fan, you don't waste Bruce Campbell. You just don't.
I don't want to hear any more.
And they use Bruce Campbell. They set him up as the lead, and then he dies.
No. No.
That was when I knew. I was like, okay, this film's jumped the shark already. I mean, I see that little Ash William, Ashy Flashy, behind me.
There it is. There it is. Look at him. He's beautiful.
Yeah, I have my own in the box.
Campbell.
Yeah. So, Amy from Congo.
Okay then, Joe. Okay.
Yeah.
No, don't make a gif of me screaming.
Please make a gif, please.
Don't do that. Reading no.
Oh yeah, Ashley brings up a good point. The most ridiculous sequence was Hiddleston in a gas mask just slicing the bird creatures.
Oh God.
Okay, like this comes out of nowhere. This comes out of literally nowhere. Like John C. Reilly's character, like he is the American pilot in the beginning, and him and the Japanese guy are fighting, and of course the Japanese guy, this is World War II stuff. They carried around katanas because, katanas are awesome and they work for the most part. And so, like, they became friends apparently off screen. But, yeah, the Japanese guy got killed by a skull crawler, and the sword was now in John C. Reilly's possession. And like, he's just like, here's the sword. Like, Hiddleston just grabs it like he knows anything about how to wield a Japanese blade, which is a lot more complicated than one thinks. And he just goes around, like, treating it like a machete, just slicing these bird creatures up in a gas mask. It's so ridiculously so ridiculous out of nowhere. Like, no setup whatsoever. It's just like it goes to the one word that you can describe Hiddleston's character is just generally badass. That's pretty much all you need to know.
Yeah.
Brie Larson, beautiful blonde, she's also a hippie for some reason. Like, she's super into, like, peace, not war sort of thing, and it clashes somewhat with other characters.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I remember a lot. Richard Jenkins, he was in it for some reason. He was that senator guy who's just like, you guys, like, you guys are crazy, and like, I do like that they tie Monarch, which is the organization that was in Godzilla. Like, Ken Watanabe worked for Monarch. They set up more of, like, Monarch is like, no, we've known about this for some time. Like,
in terms of like world building, it's pretty decent. It does that, because they are doing this whole giant monsters, cinematic universe. I'm using a lot of air quotes today. Cinematic universe. So yeah, building on that, they do a perfectly decent job of, no problem with Monarch and all that stuff. It's just the fact that if the characters had been overall decent, this would have been a really, really great film.
That's the biggest problem with Legendaries, as is now known, the Monsterverse.
Is that the official title?
Yeah, that's the official title, the Monsterverse.
Oh, good.
I don't know what Universal's gonna do for their cinematic universe, because that would have fit more with Universal.
Who knows? Who knows what Universal's gonna do with that goddamn universe?
With that amazing mummy Tom Cruise yelling movie.
Oh God, I've just seen Nolan in the chat. You were talking about katanas. I'd like to bring up the fact that he said, "This is my katana. It's got my back. I would advise using it to kill bird creatures with a gas mask."
This is katana. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Go the whole Full Metal Jacket thing. Yeah, Shuggy liked the sequence. Like, I liked it, but it's just so ridiculous and out of nowhere. I was like,
it was kind of ridiculously, what's going on? I kind of like this, but it was the fact that it was just too ridiculous in a film that wasn't that ridiculous. It just didn't really work.
Yeah, like here's the setup to it all. Like, they're in this awesome, like, really gas-filled graveyard, essentially. And this is like where the skull crawler, they're in the lion's den. And John Goodman, a spoiler alert if you haven't known already, John Goodman's character
Spoilers.
Yeah. Go. He accidentally has the camera flash on, and then he's just like the camera keeps flashing, and he's just like, "Oh shit!" He gets eaten, and then you see, like, they're looking at the skull crawler, like, the flashes go all around this place, and it's actually built up some pretty decent tension. Like, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is pretty good," and then it just goes to pandemonium, and then people start getting killed left and right. Again, cannon fodder. You don't give a shit about any of these people. You just want to see giant lizard monsters. And, well, you really want to see Kong, but you see these lizard monster things just kill people like nothing. And then it's like these carnivorous birds that killed the one Latino guy before. Again, it came out of nowhere. John C. Reilly's just like, here, throws the sword, and it goes to like 300 style slow motion where he's just like killing these birds. It reminded me of 300, where it's just like
exactly what it is.
Like, all he needed was the shield just go like boom, slice, and then it was awesome. But it's like you had a fairly serious scene where you built up a lot of tension, and then you go to this ridiculous mess out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's one of those
Which
things.
Monster are you most excited to see that they announced with that end credits? Mothra.
Oh, the end credits scene. Yeah.
Because I want to see how they're going to pull off a massive moth.
Yeah. That's the thing. Mothra has always been ridiculous because it's a butterfly. But
it's just a massive butterfly.
I mean, Rodan is essentially a pterodactyl creature.
Yeah, that's going to work.
And then King Ghidorah, who you think Godzilla is cool. King Ghidorah is a giant dragon with 3 heads that shoots lightning out of its mouth.
Yeah.
And
exactly. Rodan and Ghidorah, you know, like you said, one's essentially a pterodactyl, one's essentially a dragon. That sort of fits with this whole thing. A giant moth doesn't. So I'm far more excited to see how on earth they're going to pull off Mothra than anything else.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Oh yeah, Shuggy also mentions they fired a 50 caliber machine gun off of a Triceratops skull. That's also ridiculously awesome.
That was awesome, to be fair. I do remember that. I remember I go, oh yes, this is what I came to see. Nonsense like this. Not walking around, not really talking about anything. Hiddleston.
Yeah, Shea Wiggum had there was the one funny thing that I laughed at, and it was he's like, oh, just remember that we're like the lot. Remember the story about the lion's paw, and then Jason Mitchell's like, you know that story involves a person taking out the thorn in the paw and becoming friends, and then he's like, no, it's the person taking out the thorn and then killing him with it. He's like, who the hell told you that? My mom. He's like, he's a complete idiot.
Yes, I remember that.
Like, you know, Super New York. It's kind of what he did in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
And then his ridiculous death scene. I mean, that was waste because, like, you know, he's going to do the noble sacrifice because he's got, like, a belt full of grenades. And he's like, come and get it. Like, does the, if you haven't seen Logan, Caliban, like that awesome thing. And then it's like, nope, the Skullcrawler is just like, boom. And then as it's going, boom, blows up a mountain. He blew up a mountain when he was trying to blow up the creature, which, like, I get it. He's trying to make the noble sacrifice and everything, buy him some time.
And it didn't work.
Yeah, and then Corey Hawkins is just firing the machine gun, and he's like, he's a seismologist or whatever. Like, he measures, like, earthquakes and all that stuff. So him just firing a gun out of nowhere.
Seemingly an expert at doing so.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've ever fired a machine gun before. It's a little bit harder to keep your aim, especially if it's a 50 caliber one, which is like massive. But yeah, the end credit scene, Nolan actually predicted it. He is like, oh, it's probably going to be either cave paintings or something. I don't know why I went Irish, but
it's St. Patrick's Day. That's why you've got Irish on the mind.
And I am Irish, so that is I guess I'm going into my roots a little bit.
Anyway, before we go too long, let's go overall. Not that we have done, but let's just end. Nice overall thoughts, Billy. Go ahead.
Yeah, overall thoughts. Legendary needs to work on their characters if they want an all-around great film. Because I had a woman that was right out of the advanced screen, and she's like, I found it offensive and bad. And I'm like, whoa, lady. I get if it's not your cup of tea, but it's not offensive or anything. Like, the most stereotypical character is probably Jason Mitchell, and he's just the black soldier. He's probably the most offensive thing in that movie. There's nothing like terrible in it. There's nothing like Jar Jar Binks bad. So you're okay there. But I told the guy that I'm just like, the monster stuff is great. The whole setting up, like the cave painting stuff was great. Like, you know, welcome to Monarch. This is what we know. And it's like, oh shit, you got even more monsters now. Or at least the ones that Legendary can now borrow from Toho, because there's a lot more monsters in the Toho universe. But it's a fine popcorn film. Like, if you like Independence Day, or heck, even if you liked the Godzilla 2014 film, I would say check it out. If you're not into those big, it really is like a blockbuster film where you're supposed to just turn your brain off.
Exactly what it is.
And just have fun. Have fun with it. It knows what it is. It doesn't try to be more than that, which can frustrate some people, and I completely understand that. But if you're just looking for a good time and you want to see a giant monkey destroy helicopters, then this is the film for you. I would say check it out. If not, then I would just say go see Logan or Get Out or any of the other films, really.
I almost entirely agree. So yeah, there we go. Wrap on episode 6 of HorrorHouse Picture Show. Episode 7 will actually be this Sunday. So look out for that. We're going to be talking Get Out finally, because it finally came out in the UK today. I went and saw it this morning, and you will get to know what I think about that then. Also, we've got part 2 of the epic Scooby-Doo Horror House Podcast 2-parter is out also on Sunday. Sunday is a big day this weekend, big Horror House weekend. But definitely look out for that. So much fun. Thank you to everybody that's already listened to part 1. As some of you may already know, Horror House is now on iTunes.
Yay!
Finally. So go and subscribe, rate, and review, and all that good stuff over there as well. You can follow me on Twitter at the Purple Dawn. You can follow Horror House at Horror House Pod for all sorts of news on the podcast or this show. Billy, where can the good people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at BBusterBill, all capital B's. You can find me on Facebook at Billy Pollihan, or just Billy Pollihan if you just want to hit me up. And Instagram, BlockbusterBill. It's the B's are also capital. And yeah, you can find me all over social media. I post random puns. I am a big Screen Junkies film fan, so if you ever just want to talk and just like get a different perspective of things, because I tend to like a lot of stuff people dislike sometimes, and some people are very confused by it. But yeah, I'm open to meeting new people, and I mean, that's how I met Morgan, and it has been a blossoming friendship ever since.
It certainly has, Billy. You are awesome. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for everybody that's joined us live. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.